Hey, what's up everyone, Hicham from HAMZAOUI here, and welcome to this new episode of how to create your own video game using Unity 3D. In this episode we're going to generate zombies in level 2 of our game. Then we're going to create a health bar for our robot and zombies and manage it. And finally we're gonna add a splash screen for our game to make it more fun and nicer to see. So execute your Unity 3D and let's do that. Well, first what we're going to do is going inside the zombie folder, select the first one, put it in the scene, rescale it down, then check the flip attribute inside the inspector. We're going to add a component for the animation of our zombie, so miscellaneous animator, then go to the animations folder, create animation controller, name it zombie, then select our zombie and drag and drop our animation control inside the animator. Select the views, create a clip, call it zombie walk as we did previously for other animations. Save it. Now let's drag and drop all the walking sprites from the first one to the last one and put them inside our clip. I'm going to change the samples to 10 and let's see the result. Go inside the scene, play, and you can notice that our zombie isn't doing a good loop inside the animation. So to correct that, you can see that our time zone is far away. That's because we went from 16 frame to 10 one. So double click on the last one to organize it. Well done. Now press play and you can see that our animation is well looping. Well, what I'm going to do is removing the last sprite for a better animation. Don't forget to double click on the last one and you can see that our zombie is walking quite good as a zombie. Now let's modify this to 15 for instance. Double click on the last one for a more quick moving. Okay, now we're going to create a script to make our zombie here moving. So go inside project, scripts, create C# script, call it enemy behaviors. Double click on it. So first we're going to create a speed, so public float speed, gives it a default speed if you want, 0.15 f like this. Alright, now we're going to create a vector tree, call it temp enemy position equals transform the position, and then we're going to modify our temporary position, the x1, add in speed because it will go to the left side of our game. Then we're gonna retake our modification, put it on our transform equals temporary position. Alright, let's see now. I think that the speed I just chose is so quick. So drag and drop the script inside the enemy. You can see that he's doing the flash thing. Let's make it 0.15. Here we go. Our zombie is walking, but he's harmless. Let's add some physics to our zombie. Go to physics 2D, rigid body 2D. That way we're gonna add a gravity on it, and let's add a box collider so we can interact with our zombie. So you can see that our zombie is walking and he's going down to the deadly surface, but it is not deadly for it. So let's add a statement on our deadly surface to make it kill the zombie once it is on it. So if call.gameObject.tag equals zombie, then we're gonna destroy this game object. Then we're gonna destroy the zombie. Destroy call dot game object. Alright, let's go back to our scene and create a tag for our zombie. So select add tag, add plus zombie, reselect our zombie and select the tag that we just created, and let's see what happens now. Let's follow our zombie until the deadly surface, and here we go, our zombie disappears. Alright, I'm just going to check the free rotation Z inside the rigid body 2D, so it will not do all the unwelling rotation Z on itself. Okay, that's cool. Now let's create our prefab. Go inside resources, create prefab, call it zombie, and then drag and drop our zombie inside it. It's enemy. Here we go. Alright, now let's go to the resources and select our bullet and add a box collider. We want our bullet to interact with our zombie and kill it actually. So here you can see that our bullet actually has an effect on our zombie but doesn't kill it. We're gonna add that inside scripting. So go inside script and select enemy behaviors. Then add a void on entry to the collision to the call. Inside that, I'm gonna add a if statement on our bullet. So if call.gameObject.tag equals bullet, then simply we're gonna destroy our enemy. So destroy first our bullet. So call.gameObject, and then our enemy destroy this dot game object. Let's check out the result. Here we go, our enemy is killed by the bullet, and you can notice that our zombie here is harmful for our robot, so we're going to add a respawner as we did for the deadly surface. We're just going to drag and drop these respawner scripts inside our zombie one, and then take the respawner and drag and drop it inside the script. Let's see the result. Here we go, our robot is respawned. And of course, don't forget to save all our changes inside our prefab. So drag and drop enemy inside prefab. Now we want to generate zombies from this door. So first, go inside script, then create a new one, call it generate zombie. Double click on it. And let's do some coding. First, create an animator so that we can check if our door is open or closed. Animator equals this dot get components animator, and thanks to that we're gonna have access to the open door attribute. So if animator.get bool open the door, our attributes used for opening the door inside the animation, we should generate our zombie. And to do that, we're just going to instantiate our zombies prefab. So create a game object, call it zombie equals instantiate resources dot load, then give the name of our prefab, which is zombie, then give it a position, this dot transform dot position, and then quaternion dot identity. Of course, cast it as game object. Alright, let's see the result now. Go to the Unity one, select our door, drag and drop our code, generate zombie, here we go, and let's play it. Alright, kill the first zombie, open the door, and you can see that our code is generating zombie, but it is not good because we don't give it enough time to generate properly. So we're gonna create a timer for that purpose. Write public float time to generate zombie, gives it 1 second, then create a local attribute. I'm gonna call it float time left, which is gonna be our counter, then make it equals to time to generate zombie, and of course inside our update let's create another if statement to check if our time left is lower than 0. If it is the case, generate the zombie and make our time left equals to our time to generate zombie again. So, time left equals. Else, we're just going to reduce time from it and do a little counter by making time left minus equals time dot delta time. So let's see our result now. First kill the first zombie, press X, here we go. Our zombies are generating properly like an army, and all of them are waiting 1 second to generate. Cool. And you can notice one thing, that our zombies are no longer deadly for our robot. That's normal because our prefab does not understand the respawner. We just drag and drop it inside our enemy inside the scene because it doesn't exist in the resources. What we're going to do is modifying our code to get the respawner directly from the scene. So let's change this transform to game object. Then inside the start, take our respawner, make it equals to GameObject.find. That way it will find our respawner by name. So we're gonna take our respawner name here and write it here, respawner, and let's modify the position by adding respawner.transform.position because it's a game object now. And let's see what happened. Clean our debugger. Alright, here we go. Cool. And you can see that our zombies are killing the robot. Now let's give this level a meaning by adding a health bar for our zombies here. So create a empty game object, name it zombie health bar, give it a selection like this, change the position by putting it in the top right of our camera, select the sprite, zombie sprite, select a sprite, drag and drop it in the scene, check the flip, rescale it down. Alright, Let's change the position here. Let's duplicate it for about 4 times, for example. You can add more if you want. It depends on your levels. Now select all our sprites, parent them inside the zombie health bar, and do the same inside our camera so it follows our camera wherever it goes. You can see that it is not effective yet. We should make it work as a counter of the number of zombies killed. So go to script, create a C# script, call it health manager, double click on it. Inside that, we're gonna create a function that is going to remove the zombies from the health bar every time we kill a zombie. So create a public void. We're gonna name it character killed, which will take no parameter inside it. Then we're gonna have access to our child inside our transform. We're gonna create an if statement to check if our transform still have children inside it. So if this.transform.child count is higher than 1, so it has at least one child inside it. If it is the case, we're gonna destroy the first child. So this.transform.get child 0, which is the first one. And since it is in an array, it will always be full by the next child. Now select the zombie health bar and drag and drop our code inside it. Now we should call our function every time we kill a zombie. So inside our enemy behaviors, create an attribute which is a game object. This game object is our zombie health bar actually. Then we're gonna search for it by using our find method we just used previously. So find, gonna search for our health bar by name. So it is zombie health bar. Then go inside our killing function, call our zombie health bar, then .get component, and we're gonna call our health manager script, and then we're gonna call the character killed function, which is responsible of deleting the zombies from health bar. Let's try it now and see what happens. You can notice that once we killed the zombie, it automatically removed a zombie icon from the health bar. But now you can see that it has no effect once we got a last zombie. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna add a level changer on our health manager so that once we kill all the zombies we can go to another level. So create a public string level to load. We're gonna do the same as we did before for the loading scenes. So inside our else, first we should add our library responsible of scene manager. Here we go, copy and paste it here, and we're gonna just copy this code scene, load scene from the door manager and put it inside the else. Gonna take our level to load and put it here. Alright, just going to set our loading string here, call it level 1 for example. Let's see what happens. Here we go. I killed the first one, the second one, the third one, and the last one. I go straight away to the level 1. You can create your other levels if you want. This is just for the example. We're gonna do the same thing for our robot and create a health bar for it. So as we did for the zombie, gonna rescale it, duplicate it 3 times for this example, create an empty game object, call it robot health bar, and give it a selector, green one. Put it in the top left of our camera and parent all our idle icon inside robot health bar and do the same inside our camera. And of course we're going to take the script of health bar manager, put it inside this one and say level 2. But this time we're gonna call the character killed from another script, which is the respawner. So inside that, create a game object, call it robot health bar. Then, as we did previously, inside the start, gonna instantiate it, game object dot find, and find our robot health bar by name as we name it inside the scene. And once it is killed, we're gonna reduce the number of the icons of robot inside the health bar by calling the character kill function. Let's do a little test here. Alright, here we go, 2, 3. Now you can see that we are inside another level that doesn't have level bar, so we're gonna have problems with it because we cannot call our character killed since we don't have any health bar of the robot. So what we're gonna do is that we're going to create a new prefab for this camera. So first, for the level 1, we don't have zombies, so we're gonna create a camera for the level of zombies, so call it zombie camera, which is gonna take this camera of this level, and then we're gonna create another camera level, or not another one, we're just going to remove the zombie health bar here from our camera. Let's remove it and drag and drop it inside our camera prefab that we created previously. Here we go. So now we got two cameras, one for our zombie level and the other one for the normal levels. So in this one we're gonna delete our camera and replace it by the zombie camera. Here we go. We're gonna manage the offset and of course taking our robot inside the camera as we did previously. Here we go. You can see that now I can be killed by a zombie. I'm gonna leave them kill the robot, and here we go. Now we're inside the level 1, the health bar of the robot is here and the death is well managed for our robot. Now go inside the scene, create a new level, new scene here, call it level 0. This level will be our splash screen. Double click on it. Of course don't forget to save all the other levels. Now we're gonna add a background to this splash screen. Select the object, go background, here we go. Then rescale it down and change the position of it like this. Here we go, gonna rescale it again. Alright. Now see the result in game preview, go inside our robot folder, take the robot. So we're gonna give a meaning to our game by saying that this game is about a robot that kills zombies. So here we go, I rescale it and take an image of our zombie, flip it, rescale it up like this. Here we go, and we should add a start button in the middle. We got this start button here, but we're not gonna leave it like this because this is a sprite image and we're gonna manage these sprites inside it. Inside the inspector, select the sprite mode to multiple and click on sprite editor. Hit apply, then we're gonna slice all the image inside it. So choose automatic and then just select first one, then the second one, and finally the third one. And by pressing the apply button in the top here, we're going to apply it and slice it to different sprites that we can use on our animation. I'm gonna create a little animation that's just going to handle our mouse event on our button, start button. So create first a miscellaneous animator, then go to the animations folder, create a new animator controller, name it start button controller, select our start button here and drag and drop our controller. Go inside the views as we did previously, animation, then create a clip, call it start idle, which is the normal state of our start button. We go inside our object sprite, select the first one, and here we go, drag and drop it. Create another clip, I'm gonna call it start mouse over, and that defines the state of our start button when the mouse is over it. So we're gonna have a different start button image. Of course, we're gonna create a boolean, call it mouse over, and create a transition between our two states here. This one will be true if our mouse over is true, and we're going to the initial state if our mouse over is false. Now let's go inside our scene and create a script that is going to manage this. So first of all, add a box collider, so we can detect if our mouse is on it or not. Create a script, call it start button behaviors, double click on it, and we're going to create two functions. The first one is on mouse over, which says that if our mouse is over the button or not. Then we're going to take our animator and create a animator attribute. Here we go, as we did previously, animator equals this dot get component animator, and thanks to this event detector, which is on mouse over, we're gonna set to true our mouse over boolean, just going to switch from state to another one. And we're gonna do the same for the opposite. We're gonna create another event which is on mouse exit and set our boolean to false. That way we're gonna go from a transition to another one. Here we go, false. And we are of course managing our on-click mouse event inside our on mouse over by adding an if statement, input.get mouse button down 0, which is the right click on the mouse button. Then inside that we're going to load our level 1. So do the same, copy and paste our scene management library, and we're gonna call the same code of loading management, loading scene. So here we're gonna write level 1. I write it like this and select our start button, drag and drop our code, and let's test. You can see that on mouse over the start button changes, on click we go directly to the level 1. So if I kill myself or I kill the robot here, you see that nothing changes. I'm just going to modify this on level 1. So save the level 0. Inside the level 1, select health bar, change level 1 to 0, save our scene, and do the same for our level 2, the zombie level with the zombie health bar. Same thing, once we kill all the zombie, we're going directly to the splash screen. Now go back to the level 0. Here you can see that our robot is hidden, so I'm just going to change the Z position on it like this so it will be shown. Alright, here we go. If I kill the robot, I go back to the level 0. Now we're just going to the bold setting to add our scene recently created and make it in the top priority of the scene in bold. And here we go, we have a good game with a nice splash screen. Alright, that's all for our episode here. Thank you for watching, I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment. You can of course leave a like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified about our next videos. See you in the next episode.